Section 9.8 combines two things that you've had a fair amount of practice with. The first is solving systems of equations. The second is factoring. So take a look at this. I'm on page 582 in your book. And if you combine a parabola and a line, they could meet in two places, one place, or no places. So that's another way of saying this system of parabola and line could have two solutions, one solution, or no solutions. And as you might guess, there are three, count them, three ways to solve these problems. Okay, four, but the fourth is kind of cheating. So we're going to fly through these and be done with Unit 9. The first way is by graphing. And graphing is lovely, it's simple, it works best if you make a very careful picture, but it is not always totally accurate. So that's all the time I'm going to spend on graphing these systems. The second way to solve these systems is by using elimination. Now I'm going to skip over the lovely story they've concocted up here. I'm on page 583 now, and focus on the two equations. So they have one equation for a line. You can tell it's a line because there's no x squared term. One quadratic equation. And the question is, are there any solutions for this? Well, if we're going to use elimination, that means we have to get rid of something. And, oh, hey, look at that. Y's in each equation. Could it be that straightforward that we just get to subtract and cancel out the y's? I think it is. Look at that. Now notice they had to distribute this minus sign. So we end up with 0 equals negative x squared plus 19x minus 60. And this is where the other thing that you're very familiar with comes into play. We're just going to factor this to find x. You've done this dozens of times by now. There's your factoring, and you know that x is going to equal 4 or 15. Once you have found these x values, put each one back in. Use either equation, so you might as well use the simple one, the linear one. And now you have your full solutions. When, oh good grief, when x is 4, y is 204, and they cross at that point, or when x is 15, y is 424, and they cross at that point. Last but not least, you could use substitution. So this is the third way. The camera's too close for this to be really effective. Third way for you to solve these systems. You could graph, which is fun, but not always accurate. You could use elimination, which we just did. You could use substitution, which we're going to do right now. Take a look at this. Such a lovely, simple little equation for this line. So why don't you just substitute 4 minus x for this y? You could do that. So I'm on page 584 now. They go through the steps. They put in the 4 minus x for the y. And then they set this equal to 0. See how they did this? First they substituted 4 minus x for y, and then they moved all the x's to the same side, and actually the 4 as well. So now we have 0 equals this quadratic formula equation, and now you can, ta-da, back to factoring again. Now you can factor x equals 2 or x equals 3. Plug those numbers back in. Use either equation, so you might as well use the most simple one. And you find your solutions of that system are 2, 2, and 3, 1. Easy enough. Okay, I said that there were kind of 4 ways to do this. The fourth way is graphing calculator. Yes, which works great if you have one. We're going to spend some time at the very end of the year playing with graphing calculators, so don't worry about that for now. So not the shortest video I've ever made, but definitely the shortest notebook pages I've ever done for a video. Do page 585, number 14 through 22 even. And then it's time to prep for another test.